Hey, what's up, Super Simp Squad, and welcome back to another episode of SimplyPodLogical, a simply nailogical podcast.
People missed that, calling them super simps. I saw in the comments, and I was like, why, guys? Why?
They know what they are.
Oh, my God.
So you might be listening to this on Taco Tuesday, but for us right now, it's Self-Care Sunday. I've got my nails painted, I'm wearing a face mask. I may or may not be wearing underwear. Who knows? But I'm just having the time of my life over here.
You look fabulous, even in that fake hollow mask. I think it's wonderful.
What is this? We tried this on Simply. We did, right? It's the Simply Peel face mask or something.
No. But it's iridescent. It's not hollow. It's iridescent like unicorn skin.
Well, speaking of unicorns, this episode is brought to you by Holo Taco.
By unicorns, no. By Holo Taco.
By Holo Taco.
Sorry, I'm ruining your ad read. Go on.
No, do you want to do it? It's your brand.
No. I like to hear when you do it. It's fun.
Holo Taco just came out with a new Unicorn Dream collection, a 5-piece collection that includes 3 iridescent unicorn skin toppers and 2 new creme polishes that were worked on for a very long time. Holo Taco has invested a lot in revising its creme formula, and I think we're very happy with how that's turned out.
And I would like to know, what do you pink? Because we did a lot of scientific experiments to get the perfect new creme formula.
That's very good. So as of recording of this, there are a few collection sets left. But by the time this goes up on Tuesday, we're actually not sure, but you will at least still be able to buy the individual unicorn skins or the new creme polishes or any of the other fun stuff that's on the Holo Taco site right now, like matte top coats, tacos.
Matte taco.
Like
Yeah. Yes, so as always, our collection box sets are limited because they're special. We only have a limited number of them, and we can't just like snap our fingers and make more boxes. They take a long time to make, but the individual polishes will continue to be restocked as supplies permit, of course, unless like the unicorns go extinct. But if you guys want the box, I don't know how much longer we're going to have them in stock. It's really hard to say. Like, I can't give you a date, because if I give you a date and that's not true, then why did I just do that, right? So I think we should have them while we're posting this on Tuesday, but I don't know for sure. But I just want to thank you guys for all your support. This collection was so well received. You guys are loving the new aesthetic. I think people are excited for a lighter and brighter 2021, I think. And I know I'm normally like a dark, hollow vibes kind of girl. And don't worry, we're going to do some of that later in the year. But this collection is really just more like uplifting, bright colors, just like give me the cotton candy, you know? So I'm really happy to see you guys all loving it and the new unicorn skin colors.
Fun. So the looping back to what we're doing today, leading up to every sort of Holo Taco launch is a bit of a stressful time. It's really exciting, but also stressful. And it's a lot of Cristine having
being wired.
Do a lot of stuff like leading. As much as you plan to do things in advance, there's always so much that needs to be done in the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to a launch. Yeah,
a lot of taking pictures and videos. So those of you who watch my Snapchat and Instagram will know, because you see all the spoilers for the colors I've been wearing and testing. But I take most of the pictures, all of the swatches that are on our website for now anyways. And a lot of the spill footage you see is all me. So I have to do it and edit it and then send it to the team to cut up for socials. So there's a lot of that prep work. And then I also have to make like my launch video and gather my thoughts and voiceover and like, what do I actually want to say now that this is finally here?
So all that to say, we just kind of thought we need a bit of a break. Cristine needs a bit of a break. Let's have a self-care podcast.
A Relaxcast.
A Relaxcast.
It's a challenge video.
Yeah, this isn't easy for you to not work, right?
I mean, we are. Is this working or is this relaxing?
Do you feel relaxed right now? You look relaxed.
Do I? Wait, what about now?
Yeah, just cover your eyes the rest of the time. All right, so we tweeted out we asked people on socials for ideas for how to relax. But before we get into that, I thought we could just give our own little version, our answer, or our top 5 things we like to do to relax? Do you want to go first, Christine?
I had to write them down.
You had to really think about it.
I write down everything these days. I don't know if that's just age, but
old.
every little thing I think of I have to do, I write it down, and then I just have a calendar that makes no sense. Does that happen to anyone else?
All right, let's hear
Anyways, I have notes. I feel like we're in school. Painting my nails.
Number one. Very obvious.
But let me explain. This isn't just because of, I sell Holo Taco. I've painted my nails since I was in high school, as long as I can remember. And when I was in university, I used to use it as a way to just relax after writing several pages or something, or in between classes. When I was at home, like I'd come home for a bit and I'd just paint my nails in between. It's just relaxing, a little bit of time to yourself. You can put on a good video or music, and there's something about stroking the paint on, which I guess is a similar concept to people who enjoy painting. It's the same thing.
Sure.
You're just painting on your body. And you get to wear it. You get to wear it. And I've always just been mesmerized by different combinations of stuff over your nails. Like if you layer this on this, so it's kind of like a creative artistic surprise, like the outcome of the nail painting, but the painting itself is actually quite relaxing to me. And kind of just tune everything out and just watch the paint go on your nails.
Are you always, while you're painting your nails, do you always like consume, like do you have some TV show on in the background, or you're listening to music too? Is that sort of part of the ritual, or is it mostly just about painting the nails?
It's mostly just about painting the nails. And lately I've been doing a lot of like Snapchat stories or something like Tap My Manny, where I kind of take a picture in between the steps. So I guess I'm kind of focused on making content while I'm painting my nails.
That's not the point of this answer.
But it's fun. Like I swear to God, I love doing that. So sometimes watching can be work. Well, it is work. But when I'm just painting my nails regularly and it's not like for a professional photo, I like to share it on stories because it's just fun.
All right. There's one. That was the obvious gimme answer. What's number two? Do you want to just do, you have 5, right?
Okay. So we'll do me first?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So making and drinking tea.
Okay. So that's relaxing to you? Making it or the drinking it?
You know, it's really nice when Ben brings me tea. I find when he walks in the room when I'm in my office with my cup of tea, I go, Ben. Thank you, Ben. And it's just like
even when the cameras
my stress
are not.
just fades away. No, but even making the tea itself, I find boiling the kettle to be quite soothing because you can just watch the water boil.
You just watch the kettle.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. Then you just forget about everything else. You're like, nothing else matters. I just want to watch this water bubble.
That's good.
And there's something about drinking tea that is just soothing. It's hot, it's nice, it's warm. I know some people think like, well, why are you drinking hay water? What are you, like a horse? But
hay water? People say that?
Yeah, that's a criticism of drinking tea. It's like hay water. You ever heard that?
No.
Well, good. But there's something about the ritual of making tea and drinking it that I really do enjoy. And I think the ritual is almost more important than like the taste of the tea. Because a lot of tea tastes similar. Like
then
tea has a mild taste.
Why do you have like 500 different kinds of tea?
Because they're all a different experience, Ben.
They all taste the same. But...
No, they don't. It's a subtle difference.
Okay.
But for those people out there who aren't tea drinkers, I understand where they're coming from when they're like, tea doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't taste like Coca-Cola, right? Like it's not like in your face really tasty. It's a subtle taste. But for me, it's definitely the experience of the tea. The nice warm, you have it slowly. You put it on a hot plate on your desk so you can enjoy it over time. And you're stressed, you just take a little sip.
So sometimes I like just having like a hot water with honey and lemon in it. And this seems to upset Christine because she's like,
not tea.
It's not actually tea. I want to make you tea.
Well, this is a real problem, actually.
Is it?
Because I turned to Ben at night. I'm like, do you want some tea? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, cool. Which kind? He goes, honey lemon. Yeah. I'm like, that's not a tea. That is just honey and lemon in water.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's nice when you have a bit of a sore throat.
But it's not tea.
I mean, what is the definition of tea? Something
you steep.
I'm
an expert. I've been in a bath.
All right. Number 3.
What else? Okay. Cats.
Okay,
My
this is something you
cats
do
are
to relax?
Yes, I enjoy the company of my cats to relax. Sometimes if I'm stressed and, you know, Ben is too annoyed by my energy, I will go look for Menchie or Zyler, and they're probably just sitting there, and they'll go cuddle them. Right on cue. I hear Menchie coming from under the table now. Is there a Menchie?
Hey, Mensch.
But yeah, cats are just so soothing and supportive, and they're always there for you. And there's something about just giving them pets that's calming.
Mm-hmm. Aren't there even like scientific benefits to like if a cat's purring on you? I swear that has like some sort of therapeutic.
Do you start
effect.
purring if your cat's purring?
Do I start purring?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
modeling
humans
behavior.
are capable.
I like to model my cat's behavior.
What is purring? Like what is making that? Yeah, so if anyone who doesn't have a cat, cats just like vibrate. like they have like an on switch or something. Why do they do that? What is
Happiness.
that communicating? I guess they only do it when they're content. But is there some like evolutionary
I don't know.
Menchie, why do you purr?
Menchie, why do you purr? Our first guest is here.
All right, cats. That's a
her
good
mouth
answer.
is wet.
I like
She's
that answer.
drinking from a bowl. Okay. My fourth answer is heat.
The sensation of warmth.
So sometimes I get really cold. Like I'm always cold, which is why I'm wearing slippers all the time. I like to sit by our fireplace. But if you don't have a fireplace, what I've loved doing is getting one of those heated like beanbag sacks that you throw in the microwave. I have one called the Sac Magique. I know it's French. I guess it's a French brand. I'm not entirely sure, but it's like a heat pack that you can put on sore muscles, and that's kind of what it's intended for. But you don't have to have sore muscles to enjoy it. Like it just feels good. It feels nice.
Sure.
And another thing that I like to use as a heat therapy was a heated blanket. So like it's an electric one that you just plug in the wall, and it has like 3 different heat levels. And I use that quite often in our bedroom before bed because it's always cold in our room. And I used to use it all the time when we went to the office pre-pandemic.
You take it to work?
Yeah, because it was freezing in the office because I guess they don't set the temperature for my personal liking. So it's always too cold. And I would sit there in my office chair with my heated blanket wrapped around me. And it was just like, it's practical to keep you warm, but I also find these heated blankets or these heat wraps to be very just calming and soothing, and you can just kind of curl up with it. Kind of like a cat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Menchie, are you warm? And then the last thing I personally like to do to relax is working out. And I know a lot of people's reaction, especially if you're not into that kind of thing, would be like, well, that sounds like work. How is that relaxing? But I would challenge you to ask yourself, after you've worked out, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel a bit happier? Do you feel a bit relaxed? Usually the answer is like, yeah, you feel good after a good workout, right? So that's why I like to work out. A large part of it is because I feel good and a little de-stressed after, and like I can take on my day. And yeah, I've never felt terrible after a workout. I mean, unless I injured myself, but...
Yeah, it's funny because like physically you might feel less. Actually, how do you explain this? Like the point is to get tired and your muscles are sore. So you might not think that's relaxing. But
mentally, after you've done that, you feel good, right?
Yeah, it's shocking. Even like if I'm going into a workout and I really don't feel like it, I always feel better after if I make myself do it.
And that's something you can use for your own motivation, like to get yourself through it, let's say. If it's something you don't want to do. You know that you're going to feel proud or happy or feel better after it's done, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I like to go on the treadmill almost every morning. It's part of my ritual, my routine, but I just like always feel better after I've done that, after I've sweat a little bit, answered a few questions on Twitter in the morning or Snapchatted or whatever.
Actually, speaking of morning routines, that's my first answer. I have my morning routine. Every morning I wake up, go downstairs, I make an espresso.
Fancy man.
And I sit on the couch and Zyler climbs on top of me and he really enjoys it.
He is obsessed with you.
It's kind of a new thing for us that this is our collective morning routine. But it actually, I really like this routine. It gives me a chance, like I'll usually check my emails or maybe read a news story of the day, and that may put me in a good mood or not. But yeah, just something about sort of starting. I feel like I used to be someone who would wake up and immediately start working. And I've really sort of, I now appreciate taking some time in the morning to sort of like ease into the day, wake my brain up, have a coffee, and just have some cute time with the cat.
I think that's really important. When I used to go into the office really early at like 7:30 and no one was there, I would take that time to just make myself a tea with no one there, check my emails before I like actually start working.
And
I
have
think
meetings and stuff.
Before there's anyone there to bother me.
Yeah.
And I think that now that more people are working at home or doing school from home, it's important to try and match the same style if you can. Like take some time in the morning to shower, to go on a walk, to sit with your cats, to make your coffee before you start working.
Mm-hmm. All right, second one. I know there's not a ton of reasons to leave the house these days, or for some people, for me anyway. But I found even when I have no reason to leave the house, I've just been like going for drives.
You have? Well, where are you going?
So usually, okay, sometimes it's nowhere. Usually, like I'll come up with an excuse like, oh, I need to pick something up. But like I don't really need to go out. I could like save these trips and do them all at once on one day. But to me, it just helps me mentally to get out of the house sometimes and just like go on a drive and clear my head. So
is this when I annoy you?
Well, there's a long history of this. So like people joke about how I used to, when I started bringing you tea in those videos, a lot of it was just an excuse that like you're in the back room screaming about nail polish. And I'm like, I'm just going to go for a walk and leave.
Actually, that's true. I wonder if people want to know this. I used to be really uncomfortable with Ben being around when I started making like face videos, like 3 or 4 years ago. And so I would ask him to leave the condo. We lived in a small space, so it was impossible for him to be anywhere in our apartment without like him basically being right there.
Yeah.
So he would leave and get tea just as like an excuse, but then it turned into a whole like joke that you were getting me tea.
Well, yeah, and we used to live above. We were in a condo building. There was a Starbucks on the first floor of the building.
Right.
So I could have been there and back in like 2 minutes. But I would take it as an excuse to just sort of go for a walk, clear my head, or, you know, go get lunch and then come back with tea for you.
But I would text you when it's safe to come back. Yeah. I'd be like, you can come back now.
I actually forgot about that. Yeah, there was a long time you just didn't want me.
I don't know. Just like, I guess some kind of performance anxiety. I just felt weird.
Yeah.
But then I got used to it and stopped caring, and you were always around.
Anyway, this was supposed to be me relaxing, but I guess it was relaxing for me not to be in a tiny condo hearing someone scream.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it kind of worked for me
What
too.
other strategies? Oh,
Menchie. Sorry,
Menchie got spooked.
Menchie's not relaxed right now. I pushed the laptop a little and she freaked out.
She doesn't like that.
Okay, another relaxing. Playing video games. Sometimes at the end of a long day, you just need to shut your brain off and blow the heads off zombies.
Do you do that?
That feels nice. Yeah, totally.
You blow heads off zombies? I don't know you play those kind of games. Are you offended by that? I thought you played more like storyline games.
Yeah, the story is there's a bunch of zombies. You need to blow their head off.
My bad.
Yeah, so okay, that's an obvious one. Sports. I like to watch sports. I think this is number 4 then.
Is that relaxing then, or is that like exciting? Because you're always cheering someone on and you're like, yeah.
So similar to the video games one, it's a way of just not worrying about other things. And you just kind of let yourself just become really invested in whether these guys can put a ball into a net. You know what I mean? And that's like all that sort of matters in that moment. I find it's like kind of easy to check out and not worry about other things. And you just get really emotionally invested in a game. Yeah, okay. So it's true of video games and sports, I guess. All right. And then last one, 5, cooking dinner with you in particular. Oh. Not that we don't do enough stuff together already, but I find there's something about, again, a lot of these answers are, you know, activities or things to do that let you sort of shut off and forget about the things that are causing you stress in life. And I find making dinner together and just it's all about making that meal and then getting the satisfaction of enjoying, you know, the fruits of your labor.
The immediately vegetables after. Of your labor.
That's right. There's something satisfying and nice. That's some of my favorite time we spend together on a given day is if we make dinner together.
So you find it relaxing to spend time with me?
When you're making dinner, yeah.
When I'm making, not when I'm filming. Not when I'm screaming or eating nail polish.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right. I hope those are okay answers. Sorry, it's getting hard for me to talk. My face is getting really stiff. I feel like really uncomfortable right now.
We want some peel porn.
Okay, I'll start with some answers. Maybe you could talk and I'll...
We want to watch you peel.
There are people listening to this too, you know.
They're going to hear you peel. Make sure you do it right into the mic.
Some ASMR peel. I don't even know where it begins.
There you go.
I can't find the edge. Oh, I can't get it.
Keep going.
Let's shift to...
No, you got it. There you go.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got the forehead at least.
Look into the camera and peel it off. There you go.
How long are you supposed to leave a face mask on?
Not that long, so it's a good thing you're peeling now. There you go.
Okay.
In the mic.
I got it in my mouth.
Oh, that was so satisfying.
All right. All done.
Do you want to wipe your face quickly?
Thank you for bearing with me there.
No, that was good. I love the sound of peeling face masks.
Satisfying
it's
peel.
Really nice. Your face is glowing, actually. I'm jealous.
Is that supposed to happen?
Yeah, yeah. It's a holographic glow. No, iridescent. I can't put on face masks now because I just don't want to risk it because my eyes are still flaring up. So instead, I have this fluffy unicorn eye mask that has no formula or anything to it. But
that's right. All right, let's hop over to people's suggestions and questions about relaxation. Hopefully we'll get some ideas because I don't think our answers were all that exciting.
Help me. Help me. How do I relax?
All right, first one from Marinu. Does Cristine even relax? No, that's why we're asking you for your suggestions on how to relax, Marinu.
Yep. Ask the audience, okay? I simply needs help.
All right, from One More Coat. I like to watch the same TV show I've already seen 100,000 times. There's something so soothing about it.
I can honestly say I've never done that.
Really? Because we kind of touched on this in the New Year's resolution first episode of the year. Remember I was sort of talking about like, so my intention was kind of the opposite. I think I do this too much and I want to make sure I'm not just falling back into the same content I'm already familiar with. I want to expose myself to new books and music and things like that, right? But I totally understand that there's a reason why people watch The Office, the whole show, for like the 10th time, you know? People return to these things that I guess just remind them of more comforting time in their life, maybe.
Maybe this says a lot about me then, because I hate the idea of rewatching things I've already seen, because I feel like I've done that. I've checked that box. Why am I wasting my time? I already know what's going to happen.
Really? But like even for everything, like there's not like an album you just listen to over and over again or something?
Music's different.
Is it?
Because music's just like a mood while you're doing something else. I never just sit there and only listen to music. But if you're watching a movie, you're usually watching the movie because you want to see the plot unfold or whatever it is. I don't need to watch the same movie more than once.
Really? Because I think some people find comfort in the fact that they
already know.
They love the story, but they know what's going to happen. And it's like, oh, here's a universe I can control. I can predict what's going to happen.
Well, I agree with you, and I like that too. I'm not opposed to that, but I feel like it's a waste of my time.
It's not a waste of time if you enjoy it.
Yeah, but I got other things to do. Could watch another movie if I was in movie watching mode.
So wait, there's not a movie that you watched a bunch of, even when you were younger? Was there a movie you watched again?
Of course I've seen a movie more than once, but it's not something I'm like, I must watch this movie 18 times to satisfy my life. Like, no.
But when you're feeling stressed out, you're not like, I want to watch that favorite movie of mine?
No.
No.
I mean, I paint my nails the same thing a lot. Does that count?
Sure. When I was a teenager, I used to watch Donnie Darko on like a loop. I would watch that movie. Oh, there was a point at which I think I could just recite the movie from beginning to end. I don't know. I thought it was like brilliant. Actually, I haven't seen that in a long time. Do you remember that movie, Donnie Darko? It's like Jake Gyllenhaal is like a very young man
with the bunny rabbit.
Frank, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? Man, I don't even remember.
I don't know. I only saw it once.
It's kind of amazing. If you haven't seen Donnie Darko, would recommend. Don't listen to the director's commentary because it's one of those movies that leaves a lot to interpretation. But then I heard an interview with the guy that made me think, like, usually you want to think that if something is that sort of mysterious and there's some unknowns, that like there is an artistic vision that's like sort of a correct answer to it. And I kind of don't think that's the case with that movie. But just pretend that's not the case and just watch the movie and enjoy it. It's about time travel.
Don't watch it 16 times.
All right, next one from Ms. Nadia. To relax, eucalyptus steak sauna.
What? A steak?
Yeah, I like taking my meat in the sauna. I'm pretty sure this is steam.
Is that how you cook it?
I'm assuming this is eucalyptus steam sauna, the most relaxing thing on this planet. I've just been dropping a few drops of eucalyptus oil at the bottom of my hot shower. If you don't have access to a sauna, it's not as relaxing, but that also does the trick.
Oh, I do that, but not eucalyptus. I use lavender drops, essential oils at the bottom of the bath, in which I also add some Epsom salts.
Yeah, so hot baths is something you do to relax. That could have been in your list too, I guess.
Yeah, why haven't I done that?
Well, it's all about the warmth. Like half your answers are just like, I like feeling warm.
Stay warm. I'm so cold.
Throw me in the oven. But sauna, how do you feel about saunas? That seems like it would be right up your alley.
I love saunas if they are steam saunas. I don't like dry saunas because
steak saunas.
Or steak saunas. That just smells weird. I have eczema and really dry skin. So a dry sauna, when I've tried it, when I've gone to like those fancy spas, I don't like them. But the moisture-y saunas are nice.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently there's health benefits to saunas too. I don't know if that's sort of like quack Dr. Oz.
I think that's just like
stuff,
rich people saying that. Like, I mean, I don't actually have any idea.
Infrared sauna, yeah. I like that. Thank you though, Ms. Nadia. If you did mean meat, I'm very curious what that means.
It's not vegan.
All right, next one from Paige Nicole. Is it boring to say skincare? I've only recently gotten really into it, but once I've done it, I feel accomplished in a weird way, like, great, you are clean. I included this because a lot of people were talking about skincare, and a lot of people asking what your skincare routine is. Simply.
I mean, mine. What about Ben's? Look at his face. It's glowing.
Am I glowing
he just
still?
did a face mask.
I haven't done a face mask since the last time we did a face mask together on camera, by the way.
People often do ask me what my skin routine is, and sadly...
Does Hiram ask you? What's his name?
Oh, yeah. Hiram?
Hiram?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, he's asked. But sadly, ever since my eye allergies that are still somewhat of a mystery, I can't really have fun with skincare products, like at all, just out of precaution. Not because I'm allergic to every single skincare product, it's just easier sometimes to basically just eliminate everything just to be safe. So the only thing I use now is water. I use Cetaphil face wash, which is basically has like nothing in it, and I use CeraVe night cream in the day and at night. And that's literally it. That's the extent. Right now.
So pre-allergy issues, did you have like a much more elaborate?
Yeah. Yeah. But did I need all of that? No. Does anyone need all of that?
Actually, that's a good question though. So were you doing it just as a ritual relaxation and everything? And have you noticed your skin's actually gotten worse since not doing all those things?
It's a good question. I think a lot of people, especially women, are sold on the idea that you need step A, B, C, D, C, or whatever, for, to have the optimized skincare routine to get your skin looking its best. And that might be true for some people with certain skin conditions, maybe of really oily skin. There is kind of a process you can go through to improve your skin. In my own experience, especially since I've had to basically cut everything, I haven't found that cutting everything has made my skin worse. In fact, if anything, my skin, except for my eyes, which is its own issue, but my face, generally speaking, almost seems like softer and happier that there hasn't been any makeup on it. And then I haven't been stripping it with astringent or toners, or exfoliating it too much. That's not to say that these things are bad. Sometimes I do think you should exfoliate. It helps with blackheads and whatever, but...
Should I exfoliate? I think a lot of men go through life, their skincare routine is sometimes washing their face with like dish soap.
Well, don't use dish soap.
No, but do you know what I mean? So the idea that there are so many people out there who are like super invested in it makes me think it is more about the sort of pampering yourself feeling more than it is about your skin actually needs those things.
I think if you talk to dermatologists, like the actual experts on what is best for your skin, which I have spoken to like 3 dermatologists in the last year, they will tell you, forget all of that crap. Most of it. But they will personalize it to you. Like if you have acne, you're going to have a different list of things that they're going to tell you to do. That's not one of my issues. I have just dry skin and like some irritation or I don't know, some mystery. And all they say to me is like use CeraVe is a good recommendation that they're like, this is pretty safe for you. It's a type of moisturizer that basically has nothing in it, like no fragrance, no additives, nothing about anti-aging, nothing about like, you know, all these dream words that marketing or the companies will use in marketing. No like hyaluronic acids or retinols, or they're just like, stay away. You don't need it. Like you're fine. Just this, you need a hydration moisturizing cream. Most people just need at least that. And so, yeah, when I listen to my dermatologist, I think you'll find it's very different advice than what you would get from a beauty YouTuber. And that doesn't mean that what beauty YouTubers say is bad or you shouldn't buy everything from a toner to a night cream to an eye cream, because I too have done all of that. And I did enjoy that experience. And I think it's fine if it's something you can afford, if you like it, if you are liking the results that you get, then it's fine. Like,
yeah, we don't really know what we're talking about, right? Like maybe there's some, if there was like a really old person who looks great and has a routine, I guess that could just be their genetics and like, you know, just how their skin is. But I think I'd be more inclined to believe someone who like looks amazing into their old age if their secret was like a certain routine, right? Rather than like celebrity endorsements where it's like, I'm Jennifer Aniston and I use Aveeno, but I probably don't, but they're paying me to, you know?
Well, the problem with all those celebrity stuff is they're often getting other cosmetic procedures that you're not fully aware of. So when you see them like say, I love this Estee Lauder cream, it's reversed my aging by 10 years. Also, like they've had Botox like and fillers.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to know what to believe. Next one.
Believe in yourself.
After a long day at work, I like to sit in my car and scream, says Collide with the Sky. I like that. Yeah, when I drive around aimlessly, sometimes I, maybe not scream, but I'll like sing along to music and not care what other people think in the cars beside me.
I've definitely screamed.
Yeah? When I'm around, or you wait for me to leave and you just scream?
I can't remember. I scream in the middle of the night.
But you more like you whimper more than scream.
I whimper.
I heard you last night. Cristine was rolling around, whimpering. What was going on in that head of yours?
Not self-care.
No? Do you remember?
Yeah.
You were dreaming, yeah.
Yep. I was dreaming about snakes. And they were trying to eat Menchie.
Don't say that. Menchie.
Menchie, be careful. There's snakes under the...
Why were you dreaming about that?
I don't know. Like, I'm not okay. Maybe I'm just going to wear these unicorn things and I'll be okay.
Usually, like if I remember my dreams, and I rarely do, the meaning of them is usually so obvious. I sort of like roll my eyes when I wake up. It's always like the really obvious, like I didn't get enough credits to finish high school or something. Like this is very cliche dreams, and it's almost always corresponds to just like some deadline or thing in real life I'm worried about not completing or something.
So what does snakes mean for me?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what snakes represent.
I'm sure a lot of people do, because dream interpretation is a huge specialty, right? I used to have a book on it when I was in high school. There was like, what do your dreams mean? I feel like every teenage girl in my age group had that book.
What, and you're trying to tell me that snakes represent like one thing universally in dreams?
Yeah, I just can't remember what it is.
I don't know if I buy that.
Just like falling represents failing.
Hey, sometimes maybe a snake just represents snakes and you're just scared of snakes.
I actually am scared of snakes. I hate snakes.
I like the suggestion though. Thank you, Sky. From Marissa M. What are your guys' thoughts on how self-care is largely marketed or geared towards women? That's at least how I see it as a woman. What do you think society could do to encourage men to take a chill pill every once in a while and just put some avocado face mask shit on their face?
Is self-care marketed towards women? I would say that on average in the beauty space, there's much more marketing that targets women for obvious reasons, because the customer potential from women is much larger than men for beauty products. So it makes sense that a lot of the self-care industry does target women for face masks and bath bombs and so on.
With some like men in the beauty world now, there's maybe been a small shift, or it's becoming a little bit more normalized, I guess I would say, for men to care about beauty products. But it's hard for me not to, I don't want to say something controversial about like makeup or beauty again,
Not again.
along gender lines. But you know what I mean? Like, should we be encouraging men that they need to have avocado face masks and buy beauty products? Or, you know, when I think of self-care, I would like to, I'm a little more inclined to think of it in a less you have to buy things to achieve self-care sort of way.
You could say that regardless of gender. Like, I think overall in the marketing of self-care, companies are targeting people, whether it's women or men or whoever, because they have something to sell them. Yeah. But what those companies aren't saying, because it's not in their financial interest, is there are other ways that don't cost any money that you can do to care for yourself.
Yeah, you can scream in your car without paying anyone.
It's great therapy.
I guess just the way the question's framed, like, I agree that we should encourage men or just people in general to take their mental health and their self-care more seriously, or actually make it a priority in your life. But to me, that doesn't mean, you know, opening up other industries of ways that you convince people they have to spend money to achieve quote unquote self-care.
You shouldn't have to spend any money, in theory, to care for yourself. That doesn't mean that there isn't or can't also be options to spend money on yourself, right? Like, every now and then, I like to buy myself a pair of new leggings.
Is that taking care of yourself?
I mean, yeah, because it feels good to buy new clothes sometimes and to wear them, and I feel good when I'm like working out in them and it's a nice fabric and whatever. But that's something that costs money, and if it's in your budget and it's something you like to do, I think you should give yourself permission to do that on occasion. But also at the same time, when we see marketing from companies about caring for yourself, I think, as with any ad that you're being served, you need to be a smart consumer and think to yourself, do I need this $80 face mask? Is it actually going to change my life or make me happy? Do I already have some alternative face masks, or are there other things I can do to achieve what this ad is trying to sell me emotionally, and I don't actually need it? And I think all of that is just part of being a smart consumer.
I think the people I know who seem happy in their life and content and take good care of themselves, it's not a product of them being able to afford a bunch of stuff. I think on the flip side, if you are struggling financially, the inability to afford basic things is a huge source of stress in people's life.
Yeah.
But I don't look at the other end of the spectrum and think the people who can just afford everything that's not necessarily the source of them actually feeling content in themselves. I know a lot of successful people who are miserable and I don't think are happy at all, right? So
yeah, just because you can afford to buy yourself an $80, I was going to say $80,000. Like, what was this, a YouTube video? Just because you can afford an $80 face mask,
I would click on that
doesn't mean
video.
you're going to cure your anxiety, right?
All right, next one. Whenever I see self-care advertisements, they're always saying something, on the other hand, about this face cream is the key to self-care. But to me, self-care can mean treating yourself to a good night's sleep, or being social, eating healthy, or just making yourself happy in general. Self-care isn't confined to bath bombs and fancy face masks, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on expensive self-care?
I think this kind of goes off what we were just saying.
Yeah, you should just take it as a statement mostly, yeah.
And so just being a smart consumer here is important, because in this world, in society, we are constantly being delivered ads that are like, care for yourself by buying our face mask, indulge in our delicious bath bombs, or whatever.
Do you eat them?
Well, no, don't eat the bath bombs. But that is because that is the advertising industry at work. But as a result, we do kind of internalize and absorb that, and that's what we remember when we think self-care. We now associate that word or those concepts with these things we're constantly seeing. But going back to my point about being a smart consumer, you have to remember that all of these ads we just got were ads, and there are other things outside of this that are important to self-care. Like this comment just said, being social, getting good sleep, eating healthy, or just finding alternative ways that are not what is being advertised to us.
Do you think there's been a shift in advertisers like using the sort of language of self-care to sell products?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a newer thing, right? Or is it a new thing?
You know, I don't want to call any companies out in particular because it's not just one, it's many. But I have noticed being subscribed to many like women-dominated type product categories, like fitness stuff or skincare stuff. I'm subscribed to a lot of newsletters. Ever since the pandemic started, I've noticed that a lot of these companies have kind of adopted or changed their language to suit the feelings that people may now newly have, like things to offer to help you with your loneliness or a hard day of working at home. Use our products. And they never really used that language before. And now it's like they're taking this opportunity to, I think exploit is a harsh word, but they're definitely using the more common feelings of loneliness and being at home and social isolation to their advantage to, push their products.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. I guess most consumers are smart enough to recognize that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's kind of sad. Like, are you feeling lonely? Buy our leggings and you'll be less lonely.
Well,
like,
that's probably a bad example, but yeah, basically along those lines.
Yeah, I don't think I notice that in the kinds of things I'm being advertised.
That's interesting.
Although I've noticed, like, since the pandemic, I'll see like a random like car commercial pop up, and the theme of the commercial is like, solidarity will get through this hard time. Now buy this truck. And it's like the commercials don't even make sense, right?
But like, is that a Canadian thing? Because I see that all the time too, and I don't understand.
I see it a lot, yeah. But yeah.
So what are your thoughts on expensive self-care? Ben, do you think you need the expensive face mask? I don't even know how much that was.
I mean, my skin, I'm not going to say anything bad about face masks. Maybe there's some value. I'm pretty sure you could get these for like $5 at the dollar store too, right?
You can. That's a good point.
I think you should also be careful what you're putting on your face and skin. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, I'm generally inclined to agree that though if your idea of self-care is just pampering yourself with this expensive stuff, I don't think I'm inclined to think that's a smart way of taking care of yourself.
I think there's so much beyond that idea that we are often sold in the media, but there's so many other ththings you can do, like getting sleep is a good one. I got some sleep last night for the first time in a couple weeks.
And nightmares about snakes.
I mean, I didn't say it was the perfect sleep, but I did get more hours.
All right, next one from Down to Suck. Hello?
What? Like a sucky man?
Like a succulent.
A succulent.
I like to garden and enjoy the satisfaction I get from growing my own snacks. Whenever I'm stressed, I head to my garden and pick weeds. I think Cristine should try gardening with hydroponics. She can do it indoors and grow her own mint or other garnishes for her tea and oats. And maybe even some chamomile to help her relax.
Can I grow oats?
This is my favorite one so far. Oats?
She said oats.
Garnishes for your oats.
I don't think
we're not gonna start growing oats in the backyard.
Can you grow oats in Ottawa? It's winter.
So. But I love this idea. I think we've talked about gardening before, and I think you just don't like the idea of getting your hands dirty, right?
I don't want dirt under my nails.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. If it wasn't for that, I think I might like it. I like the idea of having my own like little mint tree.
Yeah, maybe we should look into that in the spring. Because I could do some of the dirty work.
Can you do the gardening and I will reap the rewards?
If you do all the planning and figure out what you want to grow
I'll do the planning, you do the
it,
planting.
I don't mind being the guy who just sticks my fingers into some soil.
Okay, deal. Mm-hmm. But your nails do look really nice now, though. We wouldn't want to muddy up that unicorn.
That'd be a real shame. All right, thank you, Down to Suck. Next one from I Am Francesca. I really like to watch YouTube people whose presence as background noise make me instantly relaxed. My go-to is Jacksepticeye. I'd like to hear yours. Can you relate to this? Are there any YouTubers you throw on where it's just like nice to hear their voice?
Susie.
Nail career education.
Oh, everyone loves Susie's voice. I wish I had a voice like hers. My voice is just annoying. Just being honest.
You're not going to be reading any audiobooks anytime soon?
No, I don't think so. People like your voice, though. I see that
see
in the
those
comments.
I appreciate those comments. I'm not really sure how to take them, but I guess I just have a
Take them as a compliment.
Okay, thank you. I'm bad at taking compliments.
If I ever write a book,
yeah.
Which I won't, but if I ever write a YouTube book about myself, I think Ben's going to narrate it.
That'd be
and then I brought her the tea.
It would be written from my perspective?
No. Well, it would sound weird if it was from mine.
Nail career education, that's a good answer, though. She's the kind of person you could throw in the back. I used to say this about Tati. Mm-hmm. I don't care about makeup or any of the products she was doing, but back in the day, I would throw on her videos.
Actually, that's a good point. I put on her stuff, too, even though I wasn't going to buy that blush. I just just wanted to hear her voice.
Yeah, and I've talked about, I have some appreciation for ASMR stuff. Sometimes I'll throw it on in the background. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any more answers here?
We put on podcasts. You'll often put on H3 when we're making dinner.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if I'd call that relaxing.
I would say that's not relaxing.
Yeah, it's not really relaxing. But it's just it's just like background news. Well, it's kind of news.
Well, it's I think a lot of people are listening to this. I notice this on Twitch especially, that there's a lot of content now that is what's the term for
ambient?
it? Ambient. Yeah. Have we talked about this?
Yeah.
We've had a conversation about this. I don't remember if it was on camera or not.
Can't remember.
But yeah, just the idea of content that is just there to be background noise. People aren't tuning into 8-hour gaming live streams on Twitch to be constantly engaged and entertained. It is that sort of feeling of I'm in a room with someone who's just playing video games or something, right?
Yeah, there's something relaxing about tuning in and kind of like having a friend on in the background.
Yeah, I just watched Julian beat The Last of Us Part 2.
I know.
I tuned into I didn't catch all of it, but I don't know how he streams so much, but yeah, I caught a few hours of that and I really enjoyed that. Just watching someone you like play video games.
That's cute.
That's cute. Okay. From Andrea Gal, honestly, when I feel overwhelmed with work, I'm stressed, I just turn to makeup. It's an incredibly creative outlet for me, and I could just paint my face for hours straight and not thinking about my problems.
I like that.
Sorry, is this making you sad?
I miss that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We posted, I think I made it a highlight on SimplyPodLogical highlights channel, why I'm not wearing makeup now, in case you weren't up to date on that. But I was watching a video of Ben and I's earlier from 3 years ago, and I had some nice makeup on. And it just made me think, I wish I could do that, because it's not because I feel insecure about my face without makeup. Obviously, I've been makeup-less for a year now on camera, and I don't care, because I'm here, whatever, this is my face.
Yeah.
But I miss exactly what she's saying, the creative outlet of it, to be able to paint some crazy colors or to match my nails to my eyes. I used to want to thematize my eyeshadow to the collection box reveal that I was doing, and it was just kind of fun. To experiment with different looks, or a cut crease, or add an iridescent shadow in the corner, or try a new highlighter. And it makes me sad that I can't do that, but I really do fully appreciate why there are people who just enjoy that. And I totally understand. It's not all just trying to look hot. Sometimes, especially in these days, if you're not going anywhere, you are actually just doing it in the comfort of your own home. Yeah. Maybe you take a picture or two. Maybe you go on Zoom just so you have some excuse to show your work, and then you take it off. But
well said, Simply.
Sad face.
Sad Simply.
Sad no makeup face.
From I May Be Stupid. Hugs are amazing if they're from the right person.
What if they're from the wrong person?
My friends and I made a point to hug each other often because they're really good for mental health. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that people need 8 to 12 hugs a day, but I'm okay with 2 to 4.
How many hugs is your optimal hug range?
I don't know. How many times? What's your optimal hug range? Do you?
We hug at least 3 to 4 times a day. I think I've already hugged you twice.
Yeah.
Right?
Am I the right person?
I mean, you're the only person here.
We don't have a lot of choice.
You're the only person here.
I do like this though, and I feel like this is the thing that makes me saddest for people who are very isolated right now.
Yeah.
Just the complete lack of human
People.
contact with other people is I think it's dangerous.
Well, that's why, at least in Ontario, when we were supposed to have bubble households, they said that it was important for mental health, that if you were a single person living alone in a household, that you could, in fact, group up with another household, because they understand that the mental health of the person living alone is important. So they wanted to like allow them the opportunity to connect with other people, humans.
Yeah.
So
check in on people.
Hug people.
Hug
when
people.
when it's safe to do so if you are in a bubble.
From Forever After Nails, I love doing my nails, read a book, doing puzzles, and baking. I would love to see you guys try a hollow puzzle.
So I bought one.
You bought it a long time ago. We've never...
It's not really hollow.
What is it?
It's you know those toys from when we were kids that have this like a diffraction like plastic on top, that when you look at it from one angle it changes into a different picture, and then you look at it from the other angle, it's another picture. It's not hollow, but it's like an illusion. I don't know how to describe it.
I know what you're talking. I think they labeled it a holographic puzzle, though, right?
But they're wrong. And
it's really, I guess, hard to complete because there's no pattern or anything. You just have to make the pieces line up in that they have the same sort of shift in color, I guess.
Yes.
I thought you bought that thinking we would make a YouTube video out of it, but then you realize, like...
This is going to take forever.
How do you edit someone doing a puzzle for 8 hours? Like, it would only be as interesting as, like,
watching
whatever conversation we had during it, and then it's like, why not just do a podcast of us having a conversation about things? So
we should have done the puzzle on this podcast.
Yeah, but then that would take like 8 hours, wouldn't it?
Live stream, baby.
Twitch.
We'll do the puzzle on my live stream when we eventually set it up.
All right, next one from that Janelle. Long hot showers, meditation, or coloring are my go-tos to relax.
I used to color.
Yeah? Like when you were like 5 or like last week?
No, in high school. I used to color a lot. Yeah, in a coloring book. And I used to do gradients. Like I would do a bold outline on something and then shade it inwards. I just love doing that.
You would get fancy with it, I bet. I used to really like... do you remember as a kids, we had books where like there were numbers, like connect the dots. So you would have to connect the numbers in order, but that would make the illustration. Like I wasn't creative or a good enough artist to draw anything on my own. But I remember really, it was really satisfying to do those. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It wasn't like the color by number. It was different.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so. Have you ever seen any of the adult coloring books that kind of became a thing the last few years?
I know that's really popular now, and I just have no interest in it. Do you?
And that's okay. No, I don't, because I have my nails as an outlet. I'll do gradients on my nails.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, adult coloring book. If you like adult coloring books,
if you are an adult, buy a book for adults. No.
That could be a book you could read.
I could read it. Thanks, man.
Next one from Jenna. Can you talk about the video of like the Simply Spa during the podcast? It's one of my favorites.
So when we put a call out for questions, I included a picture of Ben getting shaved by me, which was an excerpt from the Day at the Simply Spa video I posted on my main channel several years ago.
Yeah, so we watched that recently in preparation for this podcast. You stuck my feet in soapy champagne water and shaved my face. And what else did you do? I painted my toenails.
I gave you a pedicure and your foot wouldn't fit because we were using a kid's day spa kit. I fed you a banana with chocolate. I got you tea.
Yeah.
We did what did we do, a face mask? No, that was more recently.
No, you just shaved me.
I shaved your face and you hated it.
Yeah, you didn't really know how to do it.
How come?
I think you were doing a lot of like tugging. Like you were pulling the hairs out of my face.
But isn't that better?
No, absolutely not.
But it's like when I wax my legs, the hair takes longer to come back and it comes back like less coarse. So isn't that better?
But think of how much facial hair. It would be like waxing your eyebrows. That probably wouldn't feel good, right?
A lot of people wax their eyebrows.
Yeah, and it probably doesn't feel good. Why do you do it?
Just like,
stop that.
It's just 1 second and then it's over.
Yeah, but it's not 1 second, because if you were shaving poorly,
Well, if
you're just tugging like individual hairs out.
So what you're saying is you should have let me wax your face.
next week on Simply Nail On.
Simply Spa.
No, we just watched that, and I got really nostalgic watching that content.
I cried, like laughing.
Oh, from laughing, or because you?
No, I was laughing. It was just so funny.
There's something, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know. I think maybe just time makes you romanticize those times more. Because I'm sure like we were stressed out about things too, and there were issues as well, and you were probably anxious about being on camera at that time too. But I feel like there's something just that feels so like carefree, and there were less worries and expectations, and it really just felt like there was such like a chaotic energy that you were just doing whatever and messing with me. I really watched some of those old videos back fondly.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what it is. Like, I still act like that, though. I'm still, like, making videos of whatever I want, and there's still funny jokes. I don't know. Maybe it was my editing. Maybe it was the fact that it was in my tiny condo. That particular one was filmed, so there's, like, less room. So thinking back, I think of just how cramped and uncomfortable it was to, like, film that.
Yeah.
Just, like, wild to think that we did all of that. I guess that's mostly what I feel when I watch older videos. I'm like, how did I do all of that? Like, did I actually make all of these videos?
Yeah. Did you take any time for self-care back then? No.
Well, I washed your feet in champagne.
From Eva Mara, I love cross-stitching. It keeps my hands busy. It makes me feel more productive than just watching and listening to books or movies, and I have something to be proud of or hang up at the end of it. I wonder, with Cristine's creativity, whether she has tried anything crafty or artsy other than nails.
I have never tried cross-stitching. A coworker of mine is an amazing cross-stitcher, though, so I kind of think I know what it is. The only thing I've done that's similar-ish is I used to make string bracelets, like the really intricate ones where you can make like V patterns or X patterns, and they would take so long, and I would make them at camp using different color strings.
But never like knitting or stitching or anything like that.
No, but using like thread to make those bracelets, I think is it's like a sister activity of cross-stitching.
I mean, it is crafty.
It's crafty, and it's with some kind of thread. But for a different purpose, it was for making like friendship bracelets at camp.
I can picture you as an older lady getting into
with all my cats,
some sort of stitching activity,
with my cats
whether
and
it's
my
knitting or long stitch. My mom was always really into that, so I tried it a bit as a kid. Actually, I did a little bit of cross stitch.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
cross stitch a little long stitch as well. I don't think it was seen. I remember my friends thinking it was super bizarre that I did that. It's kind of like a very gendered activity for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not I'm saying I support that, but there is something nice about like crafting and then having something to show for it, right?
Yeah, my grandma did a lot of knitting, like knitting hats, scarves, but she also does pottery. And so she used to make a ton of like mugs and cups and plates so you could actually use them to eat with and drink with. I guess there's somewhat of a creative, artistic gene in my family. And then my great-grandfather was a painter, actually, like a really successful painter.
Did he paint his nails? Or?
No. I mean, maybe by accident when he was working with the acrylic or oil paints. I think that was his thing. But
interesting. All right. From Tori, to relax, I like to clean my room.
What?
To me, having a dirty room is extremely overwhelming. If I let it get too bad, when that happens, cleaning up and then being able to enjoy the feeling is very relaxing. I included this because I actually think your physical environment being a mess can reflect your mind.
State of mind.
If your room, I'm sure people have said this, right? If your room, clean your room before you try to save the world. If your room's a mess, it's a reflection of your own mental state.
I used to think this, and people would always say this, but then in university, I had a prof whose desk was completely a disaster. Like books piled, people's reports everywhere. Like you'd go in and you'd have to look over the books to see her face when she was at the desk.
Sure.
And I said to her, how do you function with all this mess? And she goes, oh, I know where everything is. And ever since that moment, I realized, you know what? I also know where everything is in my own messy desk.
Yeah.
And as long as you know where everything is, if you enjoy the chaos and the mess and just everything being out for you to access, then I don't see the problem.
Well, yeah, I love that perspective. And that's a good point. It's not about other people perceiving it to be a mess. I think it's only a mess if you have no idea where things are.
So if you can function in the chaos, then maybe that's better for you. Personally, my desk is chaotic. I have Holo Taco samples everywhere. I have notes for like my day job to write. I have like my other cell phones are just sitting there. Like I have so much shit all over my desk, but I know where everything is. And if I were to clean it up and put it all away, I would be less productive because then I'd have to find it and like get it out of a drawer.
That sounds terrible.
It sounds like it would take time.
All right, and last one from Sid the Kid. Sometimes self-care can be knowing when to say no to people. It's also knowing when you need help. I feel like this aspect of self-care is often looked over. I agree with this. I think it's important, and it took me a long time to figure out that you have to know when to just be selfish and take care of yourself before worrying about other people.
Mm-hmm. What's an example of that?
I don't know. Like, you know, I think I used to really care about what other people thought of me more. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably intensified with a lot of people since social media became so prominent in our lives. And I don't know. I don't want to get into too many personal anecdotes about it. I can think of some. We could talk about it off camera if you want. But I feel like I used to do a lot of stuff for other people and put myself second in some scenarios. And yeah, I think it's, you know, important to recognize that in yourself. And it's not like you should just always be selfish and always take care of number one. There are times where being a little selfless is a good thing too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's important to have, to be selfish too in some respects.
Yeah, and if you're constantly a people pleaser, it will erode at your own ability to get things done for yourself. And I think that's just inevitable for most people, right? So you do have to take a moment and pause and be like, am I doing everything I need to do for me? Or am I just worrying about other people?
Yeah.
So I think that's good advice.
Mm-hmm. All right, apologies to Superwoman. We were going to have her on to talk about how we can hustle harder, but we thought we should just take care of ourselves instead. But we'll see you next Taco Tuesday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. It's I hope you're having a great Tuesday. I love how people have associated our podcast with just like chilling, a reminder that it's Tuesday. Maybe even go eat some tacos. That's what we do, actually, on Taco Tuesdays at night. We've been ordering tacos.
Yeah, we eat tacos like once a week.
Yeah, on Tuesdays.
Sometimes.
No, mostly on Tuesdays.
People can listen to this podcast on days other than Tuesdays. People can eat tacos on days other than Tuesdays.
But maybe you just enjoy tuning in on Tuesday because it's part of your weekly ritual to relax. Especially with Ben's wonderful voice. Speak so people can hear it.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Taco Tuesday.
Thanks so much for watching.
See y'all later.
Bye.